Apparently icebreaker does have more than one meaning in English. Who would have thought? Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and I literally didn't have a Sunday because I was working non-stop to do all of the Super Saturday reviews, which means that I didn't get to watch the final of Supernova for Latvia. Although, honestly, I don't understand why people find Supernova to be such an amazing format. I mean, okay, the Riga Beaver is charming, but the show itself has always struck me as sluggish and slow-paced. In what has almost become a running trend with me this year, I watched one of the heats, but not the one that had the eventual winner in it, and even with 10 songs, the format really didn't do anything for me. It felt like it took forever, but I'm not here to critique the national final. I'll save that for this year's Vader, I think. But rather, the eventual winner. And wouldn't you know it, it's another Aminata song, except this time, it's performed by Just Sirmais, and it's called Heartbeat, and it's performed in English, and I'm really hoping I said his surname right, because I really don't speak Latvian. All I know is they really like the letter S, and Sastrēgums was the original title of their song in 2009 before they translated it into Russian for some reason. That's the extent of my Latvian knowledge, unfortunately. So, what do I think about this song initially then? Well, for a fan favourite song, I managed to do a really good job of accidentally avoiding this one right up until the last possible moment. For what this song is, it's everything I could have hoped for. When I heard that the fan favourite to win Supernova was a song penned by Aminata, my main hope was that it still sounded sufficiently original, but to clarify, Aminata's style is inherently original. I just mean, I wanted it to sound like it was an artist performing a song, not an artist covering an Aminata song, if you know what I mean. And that's pretty much what we've got. That's good. You can still clearly hear Aminata's influence in this one. It's still very much her style, but it is Just's singing. He's not being a puppet, basically. And that's what I was afraid of. And so I'm very glad that that's happened. So well done there, Latvia, and specifically Aminata, for letting Just have his originality whilst retaining your own. It's hard to describe what I mean, but, like, it feels like it's Just singing and not just Aminata singing through someone else, you know? Now, I'm not sure whether that's because the song was written for Just, or if it was just that Aminata learned from her experiences last year, but I'm really glad to see, amongst other things, that this song can pick a tempo and stick to it. But I will save the comparisons for their designated point in the review. As always, we will begin with the good points. As instrumentations go, I'm a huge fan of this kind of dark, brooding, electronic-ish sort of atmosphere. It's got some very original flavours to it, and I totally respect that. It gives the song a strong sense of identity. Almost as if to say, this is a different breed of pop music, please give it the right amount of attention and respect. But, in order to do that, it doesn't rely on collapsing into syncopated wub-wub noises partway through, just to convey that point. Which is a huge relief on my part, if you saw my review of last year. Sorry, I said I'd save the comparisons for later, didn't I? Of course, I also have to praise Just's voice. In the live performance, as much as in the studio version, he's got the right kind of power behind his vocals to properly deliver the song, and similarly to Freddie from Hungary, actually, he's got just the right amount of controlled strain in his voice as well, that really adds to the power and plausibility of the song, that really help to convince you that he believes what he's singing, that he's been there, that he's lived it, that he's singing from the heart. Beat. That was a really forced pun, I apologise. Finally, the live staging in Supernova gets at least half a point of credit from me, for having a cohesiveness to it. It might still be abstract circles and lines in the colour of the Latvian flag, but it does all fit together into a neat little bundle. It adds to the aforementioned strong sense of identity that this song already projects, and that's really good. But just because it has that much going for it doesn't mean it's completely free of bad points, because balanced review, I keep mentioning this, even though it's been a staple of my reviews since, like, 2014, but okay. Bad points. Well, my complaints with this one seem to mostly just stem from the live performance in Supernova, honestly. And live staging is where Latvia really shined last year, so I don't have any reason to worry by the time this song gets to Stockholm. But for the moment, for the size and power of the song, the staging I've seen thus far just sort of feels empty. Like, they should do something more with it rather than having just standing there gesturing a little while the background does all the work. But I'm not really sure what one could really add to it. That's the main problem here, because of the seriousness and indie flavour of the song, it's uniquely difficult to choreograph, because if they don't do enough, you get the supernova performance where the backing lights do all the work and it's just him standing there. And as a consequence, it feels as though there's something missing, but you can't quite pinpoint what it is. But it would be just as easy to go too far the other way, to go really over the top and have too much choreography. I don't know, something like, street dancers juggling fire and cartwheeling, as basically Finland 2009, which would trivialize the whole song, and that would make it seem overly gimmicky in an unfair sort of way. And they could add some sort of gimmick or icon or something. Think something along the lines of Freddie's drummer from Hungary or Emily DeForest's live band and the tin whistle and stuff in 2013, that sort of idea. But even then, that would still trivialize the song, make it seem overly gimmicky, like it's relying on just this one image to stick in your mind, and that's not how this song works. Let's be clear. I don't object to the song being so unique. That's an indisputably good thing. It's just unfortunate in that it's really difficult to stage just right. I think of their options, they've done the right thing in Supernova by not overdoing it. It's the lesser of three evils. I'm sure there is a perfect balance to be found for this song in terms of choreography, too little versus too much, but I'm not sure where that balance lies. But of all people, I trust that Aminata will be able to find it. First, before I get into the comparisons, rating out of 10. Well, this might surprise you actually, considering that this is one of those songs that everybody loves, trademark, but this is distinct 9 out of 10 territory for me. It's restrained where it needs to be, it's powerful where it needs to be, and overall it's true to its form as a Latvian indie pop song with a strong and cohesive identity that doesn't sacrifice anything of itself in order to catch attention or in order to artificially lodge itself in your mind. And so, Latvia does continue to be, in my mind, one of the two countries, alongside Moldova, that can always be counted on to send something different and unusual to the contest, but unusual in the literal sense, by which I mean something that's not usual. I mean, when was the last time that Latvia sent something properly conventional or generic? It just doesn't happen. So I applaud their approach to the contest, even if I'm not too jazzed about their selection format. So, for all of Justs's hype, yeah, it's actually pretty deserving. Now, the bit that I've just been itching to get to, how does it compare to last year? Well, I still stand by everything I said about Love Injected. I do recognise that her staging and live performance in Vienna were absolutely brilliant and ideal for the song, and for the effort she put in, she got the result she deserved. I'm not going to dispute that. She had a powerful voice and excellent staging. But for me, the syncopated wub section towards the end still ruins the immersion for me. By the way, syncopated just means that it's not in rhythm with the rest of the song. It's not an insult word or however you'd describe it. And so for that reason, I must say that Heartbeat is distinctly better because it does everything that Love Injected got right without making the same mistakes. In other words, I'd like Love Injected as much as I like Heartbeat if Love Injected just didn't have that beat breakdown towards the end. Whether it was Aminata's doing or Justs's input that kept that sort of thing out of Heartbeat, I don't know. I do recognise there is still a beat breakdown in there, but it doesn't go off beat. It still sounds like it fits. And I'm happy that the song turned out the way it did, because either Aminata learned from last year, or Justs has had his own influence in there, or a bit of both, and either way, that's good. That's good things for Latvia, it's good things for the song, just in general, good times are happening here. And so will it qualify? Well, given Aminata's success last year and her involvement with the song this year, I'd say almost definitely. It's a very unique and strong entry which already has a significant fan following and a powerful live performer to back it up, and so, on that basis, the juries are probably going to enjoy it as well. And if Aminata helps with the live staging in Stockholm, this song is really going to shine and impress its way all the way into the top 10 of the final. Exactly where it'll end up, I don't know. I can't see it winning, unfortunately, but it's going to come damn close. And Justs and Aminata both are sure to do their country proud this year. So, in short, I'm really happy with the outcome of this, actually, because I'm sure a lot of people were expecting me to say, oh no, it's Aminata again, I don't like her because I'm a one-note reviewer who sticks to one opinion. No. I recognise that Aminata's a good artist, I just didn't like Love Injected. This makes amends for that, so I will say, good luck to you, Latvia. Shine on, you crazy Latvian diamond, and we'll see you in Stockholm.